It's so much that I don't even know where to start. Look at this bee. That plant is in distress, baby. That's where your sunflower seeds are at, but they absolutely beautiful. So maybe this could just be a motivational video, reclaiming my walkway. Girl, why are you giving us this mess? And I'm assuming you new here. Good morning, welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. So in less than 20 days, it will be time for me to plant for fall. So today we are harvesting things and we are starting to pull things because a lot of this stuff is pretty much dead anyway. I just been holding on to it. Like the cucumbers, they're gonna go today. And I'm honestly probably gonna cut them at the root because they have shallow roots and I think that they'll break down well. A lot of the things I'm going to pull directly out of the soil. So I wanna get that out of the way before we watch the video because somebody is gonna tell me you should not pull your roots. The reason why I pull my roots is because I grow 365 days a year, and the deeper rooted plants, their roots do not break down in time. So you're gonna see me pull some, you're gonna see me cut some. The cucumbers, shallow rooted, I'll probably leave them. I think they'll break down pretty easily. The beans, but those would be one that I leave in the soil. They have shallow roots. Beans also give nitrogen back to the soil. As you see me pull things today, just know I have a reason in my backyard why I pull the whole root instead of cutting it at the soil base. But y'all, we also need to harvest. I have, with everything that went on with the peppers, I definitely just let those peppers go. So we have some that are drying up. We have some that have rotted, but then we also have some that we can preserve and take in the house. Some of the pepper plants are actually gonna go today because they're just not doing much, and it's because they had aphids and ants all year long. Hopefully next year we're gonna cross our fingers that we don't fight with that. Oh, let me show you these potatoes real quick. So I liked my idea, but the top one is not gonna work if I keep the top on it. Y'all remember we planted out this green stalk with potatoes, and we have a lot of them sprouting and coming up, right? But this top one, I had to take the top off, and we're gonna cover this with straw today. Like we're just gonna pack straw on it because there are roots. You can see that there's roots coming out. This is where potatoes come from. So if they do end up sprouting, they're gonna have sun or light on them. They're gonna turn green, and I'm not gonna wanna eat those. So we're gonna put some straw across here, and then I'm just gonna have to water each pocket because I had to take the top off. I came outside and I noticed the top was sitting up, and when I moved it, I was like, oh, no wonder it's sitting up. The potatoes are literally sprouting under it. So we're gonna put some straw over top of that. That's one of the things we're gonna do today too. I'm trying to decide if I'm just gonna go ahead, pull the strawberries, and then put some straw over that to avoid the weeds coming up. And then sometime this week I'll also get the garden bed in. So we'll probably do that today too. But we got a lot of work that we need to do. By the way, one of my watermelon rotted, so I just pulled it off and dropped it in the bed. But the rest of them are still hanging on. There's another one right there. I want to show you the fall seedlings. This is just the first group of fall seedlings. I have seedlings in the house that I'm starting now. So they're looking good. I'm kind of worried about that tall one back there. I think it may be broccoli rabe. This is why I wanted to start in the house because I didn't want them to start bolting. That's the only one that I'm really worried about though. But the rest of them look just really good right now. And I'm excited about that. Super duper excited about that. But all of these will be going out into the garden. Well, at least most of them by September the 1st. So that's why we got to start pulling stuff out. It is kind of hard sometimes to pull things out when they look like they're still thriving. Although the stuff we pulling today, it does not look like it's still thriving. We also gonna pull these sunflowers and the dragon tongue beans. Next year, I'm putting my dragon tongue beans somewhere really good because I want a lot of dragon tongue beans. This was my first year growing them. And so I put them in the purple bags, the bootstrap farmer bags that's going down my walkway. And I really couldn't get in to comfortably harvest them. So there are some very overgrown ones out here here. And what I would like to do is leave them and let them dry so I can have the seeds. But I ended up buying 2 packets this year. So next year I will plan to put them in a space that is comfortable for me to harvest. Also in a space where I can leave them so that I can save the seeds. Because I do save seeds around here. I don't do a lot of seed saving. I probably could get better with it. But I do save seeds around here. Y'all, look at this dragonfly if he don't fly away. They're everywhere in my garden. They're literally everywhere in my garden. And I'm super excited about it. Super excited. They're also like all different colors, dragonflies I've never seen before. It's really cool. And there was a hummingbird. Well, there's been a few hummingbirds out here, and my daughter has even started coming out looking for hummingbirds. They are so cool. I love having them in my garden. Y'all, let's get to work. I like, it's so much that I don't even know where to start. I think I'm gonna start by just running through and harvesting everything that I see, and then we'll get to doing like the work. So I forgot to press record when I started harvesting. But these came off of this plant right here, one of the ones that was moving kind of slow. So we're taking the small ones and the larger ones. I think this is gonna be a plant that I'm gonna leave right now. I just wanna give it some more time to produce more. And in that case, I'm gonna go ahead and just take all of the peppers off of it. And then we have another one here that had pretty decent sized peppers all season long. And truth be told, I haven't even been watering these plants like I should. That's why that one, it's early in the morning and that one is sagging. When I'm done harvesting and when I'm done doing everything I'm gonna do, I am gonna water these probably tonight though, because by the time I finish harvesting and by the time that I finish pulling everything out, it's gonna be kind of hot out here. And so they'll survive. Peppers actually don't mind drying out a little bit. They don't actually prefer to have really wet roots. Another reason why I don't mind growing them in a grow bag, because grow bags dry out much quicker than like having it in a garden bed or in a raised bed or, you know, somewhere like that. So with that being said, I'm not gonna worry about getting these watered before I go in the house. I will do it later on tonight. And so we also have some shishito peppers that's ready to go. And I don't have a lot of shishito pepper plants that didn't get eaten up by aphids. This is one that got eaten up by aphids, but it doesn't look really bad. So with that being said, this is a plant that will also stay just because I want more shishito peppers. And like I said, I'm pulling the small ones and the large ones. When I find a all-purpose fertilizer, I'll also fertilize these plants just to see if I can get a little bit more harvest off of them. Y'all know I love shishito peppers. You know I love them. I didn't get nearly as many as I wanted this year because we had the aphid issue. So you see this one, that one has a hole in it. Something got to it, but we'll take it in the house because I can cut that off, check inside, make sure there's nothing in there. We can still eat them. I'm cool with that. Even with these peppers being eaten up by aphids, they still produce pretty decently considering they were covered with ants and aphids pretty much all season. Pretty much all season they were covered, y'all. So we just gonna harvest everything we can, literally everything that's on the plant, big or small, to give it some time. And you can see they're flowering again, so that's cool. This will be a shishito plant that stays. They didn't get eaten up as bad as the ones on the other side. If you've been here for a while, we have some pepper plants on the other side that literally almost all year there was ants and aphids on them. So right now I'm gonna harvest these cayennes. The cayenne peppers did really good too. And this plant is still covered. Some of them are, you know, pretty much ripe and ready to go. Others are somewhat ripe. In my experience, they will continue to ripen inside. So I'm going to take anything that is red or blushing out of here and take them inside too. Now peppers will go to the up until your first frost. You can leave them out here up until you get your first frost. The only reason why I'm not is because I need to get planted for fall. And when you plant for fall, you're not supposed to actually plant the plants in fall. They need to go in, you know, late summer when it's cooled down a little bit, but also when the soil is still warm, and so the roots can grow and the plants can get established. And so that's why I'm doing this today, because I have a plan, and I said it in my garden tour of how I am planning to plant out, and I'm doing it in phases as opposed to trying to plant my whole garden out at one time. The thing is, I did this for summer too. I didn't plant my full summer garden out all at once. past, and it worked out really well for me. So that's why I'm doing it for fall too. And last year, my life was all over the place, and I didn't get to plant like really good starts because my starts got eaten up. My fall starts were trash. They got eaten up, so I ended up having to go to a local feed and seed, and that's where I got my plants from. But I kept like planting more things as the season went on because the seedlings that I had just looked so bad. And a lot of those plants did produce. And some of them produced, you know, like late fall, others produced in the spring. Either way, I got a harvest. And so that's my plan this year too, is just to do it in phases as to not burn myself out. And I'm still gonna get a harvest. So that's cool. That's what we love. So you can see there's still quite a few on here that we need to get. They're not coming off easy, but that's because they are not completely ripe. I have a reason. I have a method behind why I'm taking them now. We just got a good amount of peppers. We finally have a good amount of peppers. I made a mistake and pulled the whole top of that off, as I normally do. Hate that for me. Okay, so I think that's all from this little section right here. There are some smaller jalapenos in here. And since I'm just dehydrating them, I'm gonna take those too. At this point, I just want it to flower again and produce a few more peppers. So they're kind of small, but I think we'll be okay. So we have a few cayennes over here too. These are in the bed with the hollyhocks and the dahlias, which between now and the end of the week, we will be moving those into the flower bed. I don't know about the dahlias. I don't know if I'm gonna move the dahlias right now, but I am gonna try the hollyhocks. All right, let us move on. We have, I think, a few shishitos on here. And now these shishitos, I'm gonna move out of this bed. I'm gonna put them in a bag because this is a shishito plant that did not get eaten up by or ravaged by the ants and the aphids. So I'm gonna move it to a bag to see if I can get it to produce a little bit more for me. There's also cayennes in this bed, so I'm taking those too. Probably will try to move these cayenne peppers out of the bed as well. This is also a pepper plant that has just started to produce, and I'm honestly not sure what it even is. It could be pimento. I'm not sure what this pepper is. So with that being said, I'm gonna move it too because it is producing. And I'm gonna move it into one of these bags that's behind me. It gets a good amount of shade throughout the day. I'm gonna make sure the soil is really moist because this is not a great time to move your plants, but I personally do this every year. If there is a pepper plant in the bed, I move it into bags. Over a period of a week or two, they start to get established, and then I'm good with having them in those bags. I normally don't even plant this many peppers in a bed, but I had extras and I was like, I'm gonna try it. Also, they grew just fine in the beds this year, so I'm happy to see that. All right, so we got us a cucumber right here. Oh, girl, I thought it was like mushiness. Anyway, we got a cucumber here. Got another one right here, a little tiny one right here. And I'm only taking them because these plants are coming out today. If you remember, I said I wanted to get one more decent harvest off of those. I don't think it's gonna happen, and that is okay. Because honest truth, I am ready to get this stuff pulled out and to get some of the height gone. Of course, like I said, the pumpkins, I'm not gonna take those off. I'm not gonna take the tromboncino off or the dipper gourd because they're just kind of getting started. But a lot of this stuff, I'm ready for it to go. So we're also gonna take the tops of the basil. Basil is another thing that can go right up into your first frost. And if you remember, I want the basil for pesto. I have quite a bit of pesto I've already saved in the house. So with that being said, I'm just continuing to harvest it, and I'm taking off the tops just so that it doesn't flower on me, because once it flowers, they say it tastes different, and I don't want it to taste different. There's another one over here that we're gonna go ahead and harvest, and just literally pulling the tops off. And if you remember, we planted some new ones in here too. I'm gonna harvest those too. These pepper plants are tangled in with each other. So this is another one, just taking off the top, right above a leaf node. This one right here has been shaded, not doing too much growing. I'm gonna leave that one alone for now. But yeah, got us some more basil. And then of course, we still have the basil over here that I planted not too long ago. Taking it off the top. When you harvest basil like this, it gets bushier instead of going straight up. See? Now this is coming off of one piece. This will be another plant. This will be another plant. Well, not plant, but branch. This will be another branch, so it'll get bushier. Put that in there. This one we're gonna leave alone. I'll take the top of this one, just like that, and see, you have those 2 leaf nodes on each side that's gonna grow other branches. All right, let's move on. And so y'all said that those Thai peppers get really hot. I'm gonna pull them. We're not gonna eat them. It's very late. Look at this bee. I don't know if y'all got to see it. He was just hovering in my face. It's very late in the season. I don't want to hold that bed up for those, and I'm probably not gonna eat them. I could save them for the chickens, but I'm getting a lot of cayenne peppers, and so I don't feel like I need to save them for the chickens. I will have enough cayenne peppers. I'm probably just gonna pull them. We just don't eat a lot of hot peppers. We don't. So over here to some of the peppers that's been aphid ridden almost all year. We got some shishitos, so we gonna go ahead and take everything off of here. I'm honestly maybe only gonna keep shishitos at this point, and then everything else is gonna go. Haven't decided yet. We're working through that together. Shishitos. The habanada is absolutely gonna stay because I haven't actually gotten any habanadas. They turn orange, so I was about to pull that, but I'm gonna leave it because they actually turn orange. We are gonna move these peppers all to one space. So to the space that I told you I was gonna put those cayenne peppers that's in the bed, we're gonna put these peppers over there too. Just gonna move the bags. Another good reason to grow in bags, because at this time of the year, if you want to keep your pepper plants, but they're in a space where you like, I really need to be able to move and get through these spaces, you could just move them. And so that's my plan with any peppers that I'm gonna keep. So with that being said, I'm only gonna keep 10 plants because I only have space for 10 plants over there. So all right, let's keep moving with the harvest. So I know there's a Jimmy Nardello down here. Right here, there's a Jimmy Nardello. So we'll take it. Beautiful and sweet. Just a beautiful sweet pepper. I would love to keep that plant just because I really love Jimmy Nardellos, but I'm pretty sure that's one of the plants that was ravaged, and so it's gonna make its way to the compost pile. Next year, I'll have a better harvest of peppers. That's just so like, that's how you keep gardening. You tell yourself, next year, it's gonna be better. Normally, it is. It's golden Marconi pepper that's packed with golden Marconis that will also stay, because I only got one golden Marconi I think so far this year, but the plant is finally starting to like really produce and send out flowers and peppers, and so we're gonna leave that plant too. And then we come over here to the poblanos. They aren't huge, not like most of them, but we're gonna take them anyway. I will probably keep this plant just because it was covered in ants and aphids and wasn't really phased. So I'm gonna keep that. But look, we got a good amount of poblanos coming off of there. So right here, got a few, just taking them decent amount. Like this plant started to really throw out poblanos after a while. The smaller ones, we're just gonna take them all, because when you move a plant, you kind of don't need it to have a lot of fruit on it. You need it to be able to, I'm not moving it out of the bag. Wait a minute. We're gonna leave the rest of them, y'all. I just thought about that. I'm just moving the bag today. Anyway, look at all those poblano peppers. Very nice. My soil is very dry. So look at these little tiny peppers that was trying to ripen. That plant is in distress, baby. This one right here is a shishito. I'm not gonna keep this one. I mean, it is ripening the smallest fruit ever. These are the shishitos. I still eat them, but we're not gonna keep this plant. This plant is gonna come out today. I had to work up to like, you gotta go pull this stuff out. Like this stuff is not producing. You have to go and pull it, Asia. That's what we're doing today. After we get all of our harvest off of it, we're gonna go ahead and start getting stuff out of here, because if you wanna grow, if I wanna grow for fall and I'm holding on to these plants that's not doing anything, I'm literally wasting space, using energy for no good reason. So we're gonna pull these out today too. But we have some fair orzones down here that need to be harvested. Uh-oh, but we got a problem. Yeah, we're not, I might give that to the chickens. There's another one. They produce really well. Like I said, I'm taking everything. So I think that's the harvest. Also, I see another cucumber. It's another one right here. Love it. Love that for me. Oh, we might as well go ahead and harvest this basil too. Just take the tops off of it. This is, I want to say, just a regular Genovese or sweet basil. I didn't put my tag down, so I do not know. And there's another basil over here in this bed. Gonna harvest that too. These basils were shaded for a good portion of the season. Once I got everything out, they took off. But a lot of the basil is gonna stay, probably until the first frost. Well, we don't know until we get to planting, because these beds are gonna be planted out by September the 1st. So that's another handful of basil. I'm gonna run over here to the greenhouse because I want to get everything harvested no matter where it is, and then we're gonna start pulling stuff out. Also, pretty sure this is a bootstrap farmer bed. Somebody asked me, because this is the one where you just slide the strip down in there, the little piece. There's no bolts. It's doing really well, but what I was gonna say is probably gonna take those beans out today too. But let's go ahead and get these cucumbers. That one is turning a little bit yellow, but we'll taste it to see what it tastes like. And then there's one down here that's probably telling the plant is finished because of how yellow it is. So that's why I'm taking that off too. But honest truth, that plant could probably go as well. 2 cucumbers out of there. The flies are literally all over my coffee. But if you're a gardener, you know how that works. Anyway, oh, look, I missed the shishito over here. Missed one. Nice basket of peppers for peppers that was like ravished all year long. Nice harvest of peppers, and still gonna get some more. Just gotta decide which ones I'm going to keep. Okay, let's move on. At this point, I guess we're gonna start pulling things. Any of the sunflowers that still looks good in the middle bags, I'm gonna cut them, take them in the house. But the rest of this stuff's finna go in the compost pile. All right, so moving on. I got one of the buckets that my citrus came out of, and I'm going to put any of the good sunflowers in here so that I can take them in the house. This is not a good one. We'll be pulling that from the roots. This is one that actually flowered first, and so yeah, it's pretty much no good, and the birds have been eating it, so there's not a lot of seeds in it. Although I can save some of these seeds, I really can. Although I mean, like, it's just a sunflower to me, so I don't know if I'm gonna save it or not. But let's see here. Let's see what this one is looking like. This one can go in the house for a little while. It doesn't look amazing, but it could go in the house for a little while, and it could dry in the house, and then this one is still full of seeds. Let me show you the difference. Also, I'm gonna cut it like pretty short, and then I'm just gonna drop it in this bucket, and all of these will go in the house. But like this one, if you can see, there's spaces where the seeds are gone, and there's no more of this. The seeds are under this. Well, there we go. Where's my coffee? Okay. All right, so see, that's where your sunflower seeds are at. So I could take it in the house, let these finish drying too, and save those seeds as well. So I might do that. I'm very sad about this because the birds, the bees, the butterflies, they have been all over these, but I have to prepare for the next season. I have to. And let me just say that this little space turned out immaculately. I was so happy with the way this turned out. Now, I won't be doing it again because I couldn't get down the walkway for a month or two at this point. I won't do it right here again is what I'll say, but I will do this again because it was beautiful. It also mixed in with the cucumbers because cucumbers bind. So another reason why I won't do it, especially by the cucumbers. But let me tell you what else. Next year, now that I have all of this space, I am still going to plant intensely, maybe not as intense as I planted this year. For instance, the cucumbers and the cantaloupe won't go on the same trellis. The reason why I say that is because I only got one cantaloupe and a whole bunch of cucumbers because they pretty much sucked up all the nutrients, I think, in this space. We're just gonna toss these for now. This is all cucumber or cantaloupe vine, but they all coming out today anyway, so it does not matter. Also, the bees have been loving these cucumber plants, but they gonna have to go too, which is fine. Oh, and then my beans, my black beans, we're not pulling the black beans today. The black beans also mixed in with everything else over here. So while it was a beautiful show, it did not really work for this space. But y'all, look how pretty. Not like the best, but they are pretty. So we're taking them in the house. All right, let's move on down the line. And we're not gonna amend these bags today. We're literally just gonna start getting stuff pulled today. Yeah, so beautiful. I know I keep showing y'all them, but they absolutely beautiful. All right, moving on down, moving on down. And then the beans are also across the aisle. They did well. They did well. These are all in 7-gallon grow bags. So you got beans and sunflowers growing in 7-gallon grow bags, and they did really good. They did real good. Now, what I learned this year too is that I can grow like more than one thing in a grow bag. I'm just gonna throw them down there for now. There is a plant down here that's coming off of this trellis that looks really good. It might not be coming off the trellis. I think it's coming out the bag, because some of these bags also had cucumber or squash in it too. It was supposed to be miniature, but I think the cucumbers are miniature, not the vine, which is fine. I didn't read that right. That's everything out of this middle section. We are gonna start pulling the rest of the stuff that's in these bags now. Got a lot of work ahead of us. And sunflower roots, no matter how small the sunflower is, they get big, and I'm sure they are deep down in these bags. What I might do for the black bean bag is just cut them down at the base, and then when I go to amend them, I'll make sure I pull everything out, because the black beans we're leaving to dry, if you remember. Instead of trying to pull these out right now, because I don't want to ruin the bean roots, I just want to get these sunflowers down. Now, these are dragon tongue beans that look really bad, and I'm not trying to save them this year, but next year I will. We're gonna go ahead and pull on this side, cut on this side. And in a few weeks, I'm hoping that the black beans will be, sorry y'all. I'm hoping that the black beans will be ready to go. I would really love to make this more aesthetically pleasing for y'all, but I have a lot of work to do out here. So maybe this could just be a motivational video to get out there and get it done. I don't know. Either way, that's what I'm doing. We can actually get to the dragon tongue beans to see what we have. A lot of them are very much overgrown. So I guess I could take them in the house and let them dry too, to see if I can get some beans saved, because it's not gonna be anything that I can eat at this point. So maybe that's what I'll do. And this is what I was saying when I said like I couldn't get down the aisle to even really see. But look how pretty this bean is. It's a little toe up, but look how pretty that bean is, y'all. So pretty. So we'll just throw this over into the other basket I bought out here. I'll try to save the seeds. That's the best I could do at this point. There are new beans trying to grow on here too, but I just think I'm gonna cut my losses at this point. Get some seeds, and next year I know to plant them in a better spot. But I might not even be able to get the seeds from them, because they might not be at the point where I can get actual beans out of them, but we'll see. I could plant another round of these somewhere, but then I'm like, are you just being greedy? Although I didn't get a lot of these, so technically I wouldn't be being greedy, because I didn't get a lot. And they were delicious. Like I said, I feel like they're my new favorite. Still love purple potted pole beans, but these were really yummy. I think that's it. All right, I'm gonna put my gloves on, start pulling this. Now the beans we cutting at the base, gonna leave those in the bags, and then the actual sunflowers, I'm gonna just throw these over here. I have to get them up. The sunflowers we gonna pull out. See how strong that plant is, y'all? No matter what size, they still got very strong roots. So I'm using my hori. I always talk about this knife just to cut it out. And then I'll have to refill with a little bit of soil, backfill with soil. These are so dry. I told y'all earlier, I haven't been doing what I'm supposed to do. Come out. Come out. Very, very dry. When I water tonight, I'm gonna water these bags. I'm gonna cover them with straw until I'm ready to plant again, but I'm gonna water the bags. Look at that root system. And that's not even all of it, y'all. That's crazy. So one bag down, and I'm probably not gonna get everything done today because it's nice this morning, but it's not supposed to be super nice all day. Well, when I say nice, it's gonna get hot and the sun is gonna come out today. And these bags, I think I said it, are gonna have broccoli in it. Said it in my garden tour, gonna have broccoli in it. I'm beating it because I wanna put as much soil back in the bag as I can. I'll leave those leaves in here. It'll go back in there, create some organic matter. One thing I'm happy to see is at the moment, I haven't seen any grubs. If you remember when we pulled the potatoes out of here, there was grubs everywhere. I mean, everywhere. I'm gonna mend these bags with a granulated fertilizer, organic, balanced, more than likely gonna put some blood meal in here because most of the fall vegetables are very heavy nitrogen feeders. That's what I'm gonna do. And for the broccoli, I'll probably add some bone meal as well because a broccoli head is really just the flowers that haven't opened. All right, y'all, let me get this done and I'm gonna come back to y'all when I get to moving on to something else. So I almost forgot about my little babies, my little chickens. I'm gonna give them the ones that don't look that good and I'll let them play around with them and eat them. We'll see how that goes. Hey y'all, good morning. Oh, I was about to say somebody's missing. I got something for you. I don't know how much you'll like it, but I got something. Not interested in this very moment, but you might be interested later. My little gray one always gonna make me feel like I did something good for them. She over there pecking at them. Or she was. You can see the middle of the walkway now. So there were zucchini. Hold on one second, I'm gonna show you. So these bags are cleared. These bags are cleared. These are the black beans. See, they're dry. I could take some of them right now. Maybe I will just go ahead and take some of them and see if I can just take them in the house. But anyway, we've cleared this zucchini in these bags. And so with that being said, I'm leaving these just to see if maybe it was because it wasn't getting enough sun. But in the next few like days or a week or so, if nothing starts to happen, I'm gonna pour those zucchini out too. So in reference to the black beans, they start out green. The pods start out green, then they start to dry up. And when you open it, and I've done this because I was like, are they gonna be black? Anyway, when you open it, you get black beans inside. Y'all see them? Hope y'all can see them. And then you save them as dried beans. And I actually love black beans. The dried pods, I guess we'll go ahead and pour those too. Like some of them aren't really dry though. They're kind of moist. Maybe we'll leave them just to be safe. Just to be safe. I can now get down the walkway and that's really what I was wanting, to be able to walk through my garden as opposed to around the perimeter of my garden. And I'm not gonna worry about getting all of the foliage and stuff up right now. This is the point in time when the garden is not gonna be neat looking and I'm fine with that. I'm just gonna worry about getting it out of the soil so that it can stop pulling up nutrients in the soil. I need to move on to these cucumbers, but I'm very nervous because there's bean plants in here and I gotta get the beans out of the cucumbers first. Which, by the way, they say black beans is a bush bean. This vine is coming from these bags all the way up here into this cucumber plant. I don't know. Next year I might end up putting them on a trellis. This is a very long vine for you to be saying it's bush. You see that? But that's what they said. They was bush varieties. I'm gonna try to pull these black beans down out of here first, and then I'm gonna get these cucumbers cut out. Yeah, these beans are up in here, y'all. This one is way up here. Maybe I got a vine and variety is what happened, and I wasn't aware that they could be vine and varieties. But I'm gonna go check my packet because I'm pretty sure it said bush. Now I will tell you they were very prolific. I got a lot of beans on these plants. It's a decent amount on these plants, and I think if they weren't shaded or weren't, you know, like mixed in with sunflowers and all of that stuff, that it would have been even better. Here go another one. We'll go read that pack. I tell you that. I need to find my garden sleeves. I have no idea what I did with them because my arms are itchy. I'm not gonna go look for them right now though. So I think I got them all off. All right, good enough. Let's get these cucumbers pulled out. Oh, I can't wait to harvest those. If we don't get nothing but one good meal out of them, I'll be happy, y'all. But this year, it was my first year growing both of these. I think I said that already. So for this year, if that's all we get, I'm okay with that. And I know next year, plant them in a better spot. So I'm just gonna cut them at the base first, and then we're gonna go through and pull them off the trellis to make it easier for me. There's weeds down here too. All right, we have our things we were holding the melons up with, so I'm gonna get those out first. These are melon holders from Bootstrap Farmer. They worked well. When the cantaloupe detached from the plant, it cradled it, and I was able to come and get it, and it never fell onto the ground. So I like these. Let's just start pulling. Time for it to go. My bees ain't gonna have nothing but those pumpkins and the flowers, which might be a good thing. Maybe I'll get a pumpkin or two. I think the chickens can eat cucumber leaves. These pretty dead anyway, so I don't know that they would eat them. And they don't look like they fooling with them sunflowers either. Reclaiming my walkway. I also should go on the other side. I think if I pull from that way instead of through these holes, it would help too. So I'm going on the other side. Yep, it did. So much easier. The sun is coming out. I was hoping to get further than this, but we'll just come back out here tonight and get more things taken care of. I still got a little bit of time, but not as much as I was hoping for. Also should have put my gloves on. Hands are itching. There was also like a million squash bugs in here. A million. Get rid of them. Get rid of those guys. You can see across the garden again. Woohoo! I think I will give the cucumber leaves to the chickens. If they like it, they do. If they don't, they don't. And then I can put it into the compost pile. Oh my goodness, my hands. Look at them, y'all. And y'all see all the pricklies on it. Hate that for me. They seem to appreciate the cucumber plants more than they appreciated those sunflowers. Some of them. Others are like, girl, why are you giving us this mess? But yeah, seem to appreciate it more. Okay, so that's one less thing I have to throw into my unkempt compost pile that's gonna have to take forever and ever to break down. Anyway, what is next, y'all? Also, that's our harvest. So we got a bunch of basil, a bunch of peppers down there, some random cucumbers, which I should probably give to the chickens, but I'm probably gonna see how they taste first. And then some dragon tongue beans that look absolutely awful. Let me show you my watermelon that I finally put something under. That's a bootstrap farmer tray for microgreens, but it's gonna work for that too. It's definitely getting bigger, y'all. I'm excited. I think we're gonna get to eat that I don't eat that mess, but I think my daughter is gonna get to eat that watermelon. And so I said mess. It's not mess. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. It don't make it mess. I think what I'm gonna do next is try to get the peppers that I'm keeping moved and then get those bags moved to where the peppers are. And then if I have time before the sun comes out, cause I'm sweating, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and pull peppers too. So these bags right here, they're gonna be moved to wherever I move one of the peppers from. And I'm moving them slow, cause if something is under here, I don't want no mess. We definitely keeping this jalapeno right here that was so easy for me to pick up. I mean, was easy. You wanna know why it was easy? Cause it's dry. I do have landscape fabric down, maybe a good thing. But I do this every year. I move my peppers around to get them out of the walkways and stuff. Cause this is the time of year where I start feeling like I don't want all of these bags and all this bushiness. Also, it's a whole strawberry moving over here, y'all. That's why I want them up and out of here. Also, a lot of worms under here, so that's cool. Yeah, this is a whole strawberry runner, 2 of them, coming through the bags. Big old squirmy worms too. I don't mind worms. I know they good for my garden. What I get nervous about is when they move different from like the way I normally see worms move. And somebody asked me, and I'm assuming you new here, somebody asked me, I'm not scared of finding snakes. I said, you gotta be new. Cause I say all the time, if I find one back here, it's gonna take the whole garden. And then I'm gonna have to go back to work. One time, Salty Dog Homestead said, was that a snake? I was like, please don't step on it. Baby, I just knew I was getting ready to be on Indeed, but when he sent me what he was talking about, it was just a piece of plastic. I said, I'm about to be on Indeed, y'all, and I see y'all when I see y'all. That's what I was gonna do. Oh Lord, I'm being silly. Let me get to work. So we just gonna move these here, and then we're gonna water them really good because they are super dry. Super dry. That poblano pepper is coming over here too. I'll be right back, y'all. I can't be moving this camera that much. I just gotta get this here work done. Hope y'all enjoy it though. I could move it and turn y'all that way. Hold on. This poblano pepper right here, that's getting kept. Weeds everywhere. Oh, super dry. I mean, just easy and light to pick up, y'all. So if you're growing in grow bags, that's one way to tell if your bags are dry. I think I'm gonna put a better stake in this one too. Not right now. I'm trying to keep all of the shishitos. I don't care what they look like. I'm trying to keep them. This is one right here. We're gonna keep that one. And I ain't no ants, y'all. I truly don't know where the ants went. They are gone. Gone. I would love to say it was the dragonfly flies, but I haven't seen any proof of it. I know they're here, but I haven't seen any proof that that's the situation and the reason. So we're not gonna say that because I don't know that to be true. I'm trying to put the shorter ones in the front, the taller ones to the back. Although my son comes from that way, they get shaded, but the tomatoes grew just fine over here. So I think it's fine. Habanada. Oh, and then the golden Marconi. Golden Marconi is stuck in the poblano. What else do we want over here? Oh, we'll go ahead and keep this cayenne pepper too. And I'll put the cayenne to the back. It's not tall, but it is bushy. I think it'll be fine. Oh, you know what? I saved the Jimmy Nardello just because the Jimmy Nardello has a lot of flowers on it too. So we'll go ahead and keep that. Well, not flowers, little baby peppers. We got space for one more thing. I think this is all I'm gonna keep, but you never know. Oh, this one tomato I'm gonna put over in the back, on the back where the other tomatoes that I just replanted are. So let's put these back where they can go so I can fertilize and amend them. I don't take the soil out, I just amend it just like it's a garden bed. I could honestly try to save all of these pepper plants, but I just don't see the point, y'all. I do not see the point, so I don't believe I'm gonna do it. I keep saying that, then I start looking around because I'm like, I could save these pepper plants. I really could, because some of them can go right here and I can move those bags too. That's a possibility, but I just don't want to save them all, if that makes sense. All of them don't look that good. Like that poblano I was telling y'all about, banana pepper, they just don't look that good. All right, let's put these bags back and I'll think through this. So I decided I'll keep a fair or zone too. They did good. So now we got all our peppers moved, deciding on here. I'm deciding if we want to keep more and just keep them here. Yeah, we cutting our losses. We gonna keep these 2 jalapenos because they still look good. Just go slide them right here. But the rest of them don't look that good, except for the fair or zone. Might move those over here. Everything else gonna go. Everything else is gonna go. So by my last planting, all of the peppers will be gone, if that makes sense. So by my last planting of the greenhouse, that's the last thing, I'll pull these peppers out and then put my fall plants into these bags. Cause true story, I should be glad I got any peppers left over to do anything with. I'm just happy to have any of them left for me to move right now. I'm also taking any tags, putting them in my pouch in my apron, because I've been keeping them writing on the back of them. By the way, did y'all say alcohol? Should I use alcohol to take the wording off of them? Because I definitely been reusing them. I missed one. Corking, I think is what it's called. Somebody told me it was corking. But anyway, we're gonna move that over here. I do this every year. I do, but I normally keep them all because I've never had such a bad pepper plant season. So now, I guess, I might keep the fair or zones too, now that I've decided I'm doing this anyway. So I'm gonna drop these in here for now. Also, once we move this, I'm going in the house. I'm sure y'all can see the sun is hot, but we will do an evening session as well because I'm ready to get things ready for fall.